This is probably going to be one of the most important videos on my channel. It will most likely be the most boring, like filing taxes. But stay tuned. First, who is this video for? Beginners who are totally new to Forex trading, prop firm traders who are looking for a broker to trade their personal account with, US citizens who trade CFD indices but want to trade with regulated US brokers. Now, you say, what is a CFD? If you are subscribed to this channel and trading with props, you're most likely trading CFDs. Now, here are a few important points. Number one, how CFD brokers work. We'll talk about this in detail. Number two, what does it mean to be regulated or unregulated? Number three, the pros and cons of each. Number four, a few last considerations and my plans, what I'm currently doing. Now, let's start with how CFD brokers work. When you deposit money with a CFD broker, they act sort of like a bank. You're entrusting them to segregate your money and keep it safe. Many traders don't think about this when depositing money into a broker because many people are starting off small. But if we think about the big picture, we want to ensure that our money is safe and secure. Now, CFDs, unlike the stock and futures exchange, doesn't have a centralized exchange. So people like us who trade CFDs, we trade in what is called the off exchange, or the OTC. We trade in a market that is created by a market maker and intermediary brokers, right? So the market makers provide us with products such as US 30 and NAS 100, which are derivatives of the real index. And they offer this to us as a products that we can speculate on. They determine the name of the products and the price levels. That is why you may see a different name for US 30 on different brokers, or you may see slightly different prices with different brokers. Especially if you trade prop firms, you see one prop firm having one price and a different prop firm having another, or you may see MT5 with one price and what you see in TradingView with another price. It's because the broker or the liquidity provider makes up the prices and presents them to you. Now, when we trade CFDs, we're always trading against the market maker, the liquidity provider. At the end of the liquidity chain, we're trading against the market maker, meaning when we buy US 30 and if we win, they pay us. If we lose, we pay them. The market maker makes money directly from the trader failing. So if 80% of traders fail, they have an 80% win rate. They're always making money. So this is a very lucrative business for brokers that may connect to a market maker. This is why there are so many brokers online and they pay influencers to market to us. It's a very lucrative business. So regulations came in by the government due to some fraudulent practices from the broker side, such as stop hunting and other activities that could cheat the trader out. Now, thousands of traders that are losing money and demand is growing for CFD trading. So you have a big rise in brokers and the government had to step in to enforce some regulations. Now, this is where we have to learn the terms regulated and unregulated. So what does it mean to be unregulated? It means that they don't possess a financial license with the government. It doesn't imply that the company is a scam, but they may not meet requirements of a regulatory entity. So to receive a license, they have to prove that they meet certain requirements. Some countries have made it illegal, like the US, for an unlicensed broker to provide retail Forex trading to US citizens on or offshore, right? It is unlawful for a non-US broker to provide US clients with services. This is why regulated offshore brokers like IC Markets, 8cap, and Think Markets won't allow US clients to open up accounts. Now, there are popular unregulated brokers that have been in business for years offering services to US clients. I've traded with some and had no issues with withdrawals. So I'm not automatically saying that unregulated brokers are wrong. I'm presenting this information so that you can make the most informed decision for yourself, but I have a big announcement at the end. So here's some key differences between unregulated brokers and regulated brokers. So for unregulated brokers, they are attractive because they offer higher leverage. Many unregulated brokers offer like a 1 to 100 or 1 to 500 leverage, which can be used to make more from a smaller account. The risk is also high, but it has a higher risk of losing more money. Number two, more products. So with unregulated brokers, you may have access to more products that a regulated broker may not offer. Number three, faster onboarding. When you sign up for a regulated broker, those in the US specifically, there's a lot more steps for onboarding. Number four, what makes it attractive to traders is that they're starting out with a small amount of money. In regards to unregulated brokers, as I mentioned, if you're just getting started out, you may want to quickly open an account and get started trading, and that's a lot easier sometimes. With unregulated brokers depending on where you live. Now, in regards to regulated brokers, here's a few things that are key. There is less risk of impunitive fraud, right? Since regulated brokers must report to the government in order to keep their license, depending on your jurisdiction. But like in the US, they have strict reporting guidelines. They may engage in less fraudulent activities. Number 2, financial security. Brokers that are required to meet certain regulations often are larger entities that are backed by large funds, right? Or that had enough funds in order to meet regulations, right? So the risk of your deposit being inaccessible is lower. It can still happen, but it's a lot lower. Number 3, transparency. Brokers are required to disclose information about the failure rate and how risky trading is. In many of these, the leverage requirements are lower. This can be frustrating for many traders, but it also can be a protection so that you will not over leverage and blow your accounts. Number 4, advanced analytics platform. Some of these US brokers have very robust analytics platforms. So if you're trading with an unregulated broker, it's okay because there are many platforms like TradeZilla, you have MyFX that can help with that. But some regulated brokers have advanced analytics platforms. And number 5, this is a later point, but for the regulated brokers, like the futures brokers, operate on a centralized market exchange. There's a lot more data that you have. Depending on the type of trading that you are doing, they offer you more data. This is a special point that is more relevant to our conversation that I'll be having later in this video about futures. So here are some last considerations. Some argue that since I trade with prop firms that have their own broker, yes, they're unregulated. So if that's the case, here's my counter argument. I'm not storing a lot of real money with them. So when my Forex funds received the cease trade order, I probably had about 5K tied up with them that equated to about 500K in accounts, okay? It wasn't 500K in real capital. It was only 5K of fees that I paid to be in challenges and to get access to capital. If 500K of my real capital was tied up with them right now, I'd be sick. In the grand scheme of things, a regulated broker would offer more security for me, especially having 6 figures in a brokerage account. As I think about the big picture, my short-term goal is to trade a 6-figure personal account. When I think about what happened with MFF, it made me ask the question, if I want to think and move like a professional trader, a professional firm, where would I house my money? How would I protect my money? The point of this video is not to tell you what to do, but it's to inspire you to ask the question. If you're depositing 100K in an account, what type of perfection be looking for? When I ask myself this question, I realize I have a hard decision to make. This reveals a dilemma for me. I can't trade index CFDs legally in the US. So in order to work with a regulated broker, I'll either have to trade futures or find a legal way to open up a business in another country. So I'm going to go ahead and learn futures. I'll continue to trade prop firm accounts as long as they are around, but I'm going to learn futures so that I can build a solid track record with a regulated broker and grow a small hedge fund. Please like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you want to see a video on my 5 tips for better psychology, watch this video.